Hey, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
We can go ahead and get started. Angel?
Angel Gray, Valley Sports. Coach, if we can just talk about the fourth quarter, it was tied with about 2 minutes left. What did you see from your team in that stretch?
I thought we had some good looks. I thought we, did a really good job in some of those of penetrating and getting inside the restricted area. We didn't convert, and that gave them, the opportunity to get out and take advantage with their speed. And that's what, tends to happen if your smalls are penetrating and they're in the paint. They're normally your first line of defense back. But again, I thought, they took advantage of that, down the stretch. And that, turned into some threes and things like that we couldn't overcome.
Just the other night, Jared Allen told us that when you're in tight situations to close the games, maybe just the turnovers are a little bit more for them because they're playing with so much tension or just knowing that there's so much on the line. What's the remedy to fixing that and just allowing them to play more free and fun in those moments?
It's experience. It's being in those positions time and time again, and understanding, the possessions are important at that moment, but the experience of being there over and over again and time again allows you to be more comfortable just to make the next play. Being aware and experiencing how different teams are going to guard you and those things, right? So tonight, late in the game, they started trapping Darius to get the ball out of his hands. So now what's the next play? And being prepared to make that next play. But again, it takes the opportunity and it takes experience being there. And every close basketball game we play, our guys will be better for it.
Before the game, you talked about just not playing with Colin and what that means for everyone else, how everyone has to step up. It's not just one person. I know we saw Jetty Osman get some burns today, but Jared Allen finishes with his career high. How has he impacted you in this game? But what do you see him taking on more of that's allowing him to see these numbers?
His assertiveness, and his understanding of how important he is to us on a night in, night out basis. I think, where he had been in the past, he didn't have to carry that burden. And here for us, we need him to carry a large load. And again, that comes with experience. That comes with the understanding of, your role and how important you are to us on a night in, night out basis. And I think, again, we mentioned it before when he got here, that he's not done yet. He's working and he will continue to improve because of the time he puts into the game.
Kelsey?
Kelsey Russo, The Athletic. JB, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but with Darius, 28 points tonight, and just kind of how he facilitated and playmaked. What did you just see from him? And especially just in this instance without Colin, him just being truly running the floor for you guys?
He was doing it all. He was a lead guard. He was asked to score. He was asked to distribute and, play both ends of the floor. And I thought, he was excellent tonight. Anytime you make teams have to make an adjustment on you, that means you're doing the job. And I thought that, he was great tonight and taking that load and carrying that burden.
And then especially in the first half, your defense just keeping Westbrook to 2 points in the first quarter and I think 5 at the half. What did you just see from your guys, especially Isaac, in those moments of just defending those guys? And I know Beal had a lot of points as well, but just especially Westbrook, just keeping him since he's been on such a scoring run.
Again, it's credit to Isaac and, the fire we keep throwing him in. Every single night we keep throwing him out there at somebody. And every night he seems to respond. I thought he did a great job of keeping Westbrook in front of him. He's put so much pressure on your rim, and that's when he's dangerous. Obviously we know how good he is and what he's capable of, but if there's one thing that you can limit, that's how often he gets to the rim. And I thought Isaac did a phenomenal job of that. And then his teammates were in the right spots to help him. I thought we did a good job of shrinking the floor around him and making him play in a crowd.
And then one more for you with Jetty coming back into the starting lineup tonight and having 19 points for you guys. What have you just seen from him, I guess, really in general this season, being able to come in when necessary and play that role that he is assigned that night and just being able to be just a piece wherever you need him?
Again, it speaks to his character and what type of person he is, the work that he puts in. how important his teammates are to him, all those things. And, hats off to him for being ready. And that's what the league is about. For all of us, there's the ups and the downs, but you got to be prepared and stay ready for when your number's called. And I thought Jetty was phenomenal tonight, competing on both ends of the floor.
Ashley.
Ashley Bastock, Akron Beacon Journal. JB, just to follow up on Jetty, I guess in the last week and a half or so, whatever it's been since the last time he played after getting those DNPs, I guess, had he been doing anything differently during practices or shoot-arounds or anything that you've seen, just to kind of follow up on that point?
I mean, he's just been committed to his craft and committed to working. You watch him every single day. He puts the time in. Again, most importantly to me, I watch how he interacts and engages with his teammates. And every single day, he's the same person. Again, being ready when your number's called, and he was prepared to go get it.
And then just to follow up from something at the top, I know you talked about the importance of the experience of being in these situations when games are close, but coming into tonight, you guys were, I think, 28th in the league of being even playing in clutch games. So I guess just with that experience and with a night like tonight, what do you want these guys to take away from a game that was close like this?
It's the experience of the moment. And, there is a distinct difference in our game between the first three quarters and how the fourth quarter is played. And especially, clearly in tight basketball games, the value and the importance of every possession, where the mistakes cost you even more because there's not as much time to make up for them. The execution matters more because defenses tend to get more physical and setting screens and all those things become more important because the defense does ramp up in the fourth quarter. And then you have to ramp your defense up. You've got to be more physical. You've got to get into the ball. You've got to finish possessions better. All those things become that much more important in the fourth quarter.
If anybody else has anything, please raise your hand. If not, we'll go to Chris for the last few here. Chris, go ahead.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, JB.
Hey, Chris.
So obviously there was a reason why Jetty was out of the rotation for the last 5 games. What did you want to see from him during that stretch when he was out? And what did you guys work on during that stretch to get him back to a level where you wanted to go to him?
I think it was, a lot of him putting the time in and working on his own game. I think Jetty is a good basketball player. I think he had some struggles early on, but I believe that Jetty is a good basketball player. And when given the opportunity, when playing with confidence and playing assertive, he can have an impact on the game. And I think, that the time that he spent in the gym working on his game individually, again, left him prepared for this moment. And sometimes it gives you an opportunity to clear your head too. When you're not, in the game, in the moment with all the pressure on, sometimes when you take a step back, it allows you to clear your head, recenter yourself, and go out and be productive like he was tonight.
You mentioned before the game just how Darius uses these kinds of matchups against Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook to kind of prove himself and show what he can do. As a coach, do you look at these as measuring stick type games for Darius?
Yeah, sorry. Finish question. I'm sorry.
And even Colin when he's actually playing in these kinds of matchups?
Yeah, it's this league is about earning people's respect. And how do you earn people's respect? And that's competing at a high level against the best players in this league. That's finding, the will and the grit to take on challenges from the best players in this league. It's not in my opinion, a individual, I have to do this, I have to do that. It's how do I put my team in the best position to win? And the way that Darius played tonight with the 9 assists and obviously the scoring, it was an attempt to put us in position to win where we had our opportunities down the stretch and just, came up a little bit short. But that's the measuring stick for us as coaches is, are you playing a way or at a level that's going to help us be competitive and ultimately win? And I think Darius and Bull have shown their ability to do that.
You might have answered this already. I got on late. If so, don't even bother repeating yourself. But what was the difference in the fourth quarter for you guys offensively?
I thought they did a really good job of turning up the pressure. I thought they tried to take the ball out of Darius's hands a lot, and they started trapping him, and we were unsuccessful on the backside of it. But I think that was the biggest difference in that fourth quarter.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
We will be efforting towards Jarrett and Darius for players. Just as a heads up, I'll keep you posted if that changes.